are live. I was going to say, I think they've changed the thing because it started saying, Sue Reed, oh, it's still doing that. I didn't realize it did that before. Anyway, Joanne, my new friend, Joanne, hello.
Welcome, Joanne, and hey, Bob, how are you? It's always good to see familiar faces, especially when you're nervous.
Yeah, Stacey. Well, who did you just see? Bob Lewis?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I missed that one. Keegan, hi, Nora. Oh, look, see how popular you are?
Ha, ha, ha. That's you, my friend.
Oh, bless. Okay. Hello,
Hey.
Bob. Lovely to see you. Brilliant. Okay. Well, this is good. This is, by the way, people, this is Lisa's first live, so be very kind to her.
Be kind to me.
She's feeling
I'm
a
a
bit
little nervous.
Hi, Stacey. Okay, so I'll just introduce myself for anybody that doesn't know me. So I'm Sue Reed. I am my publication is Confidence Matters. And I just help people. I shouldn't say I help people with their confidence so that they can live more aligned with their values and what they want from life. Oh, hello, Wooden Shoe. Nice name. Do you want to introduce yourself, Lisa?
Sure. I am in the United States, in Atlanta, Georgia, and I am a board certified health and wellness coach and a writer, and I have my own Substack going. I'm nowhere near on par with my friend Sue, who is remarkable at this already. But I help women over 40 basically reclaim authorship of their lives and whatever that looks like for them.
Lovely. And you're doing a grand job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because you run women's groups as well off Substack.
I do.
Which is amazing. We in America, well, everywhere, but it's really needed. Women need to be able to stand up and have their voice heard, especially now.
Yes, I think it's time for the matriarchy to take over.
Absolutely, yeah. We need to sort it out. Onyx Rose, hiya, hello. Thank you for joining. So today, oh, Tom can't find the link. Well, I'm sorry, Tom, but I don't know how to give it you from here. You have to work it out. Anyway, sorry, that was just a message from me. Anyway, so what we're going to say, yes, messy middle. We're going to talk about the messy middle today. And so when you think of the messy middle, what comes to mind for you?
So I hope it's okay. I found this quote online that kind of resonated with me. I'm going to quote it. It was, the messy middle is basically the challenging and unpredictable part of any journey that lies between the initial burst of excitement and the satisfaction of reaching the end. It's the phase where many people get stuck, lose momentum, or even consider giving up altogether.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's sort of, I mean, life is kind of like the messy middle, right? If you think about it, like when you're born, everything you take on after that, when you are a toddler and you fall over, it's messy, and then you keep trying and trying. So, that's how I see it.
Trying to learn to feed yourself, that's really messy.
Even now.
It is messy. I mean, I always think, the most extreme example is the caterpillar to the butterfly, because I mean, the caterpillar, he clearly has no idea what he's getting himself into. He goes into the chrysalis and he's just completely changed to complete mess. Like he is in the messy middle, he's just mush. But when he comes out the other side, he now is a beautiful butterfly. But I wonder if he knew what he'd got to go through to get there, whether he'd still want to go through it, whether he'd have the courage to enter.
Yeah, that's a great question. Like, if you had to look back and recognize what you went through, would you go through it again? Great question.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think another good way of looking at it is I actually read it in the book I'm reading at the moment, The Aligned, is it The Aligned Life? I think it's called The Aligned Life, but it's by Dr. Mark Arcuri, who is also just come onto Substack recently, I found. And I think this is his first book, but he talks about a seed. So when the seed is planted, it's in the complete darkness, and it's in the darkness for quite a while. And looking at it from the outside, you have no idea what's going on, whether the seed's actually germinating or not. And the seed has no idea what's going on in the real world. It's just stuck there. But what it does is it lays down roots. So it starts growing its roots and it goes downwards and deep into the earth before it starts to grow on top of the earth and then obviously to bloom into whatever it's meant to be. But I thought that was a good analogy too, because, if we can look like when we're in that messy part, um, so take Substack for an example. You come onto Substack, this is an example of we all have to go through. You come onto Substack, nobody reads your notes, nobody's interested in your posts. You might be brave enough to do a live, but nobody turns up. Or they come in out of interest and then flip back out again.
I have no idea
And
what you're
you think,
talking about. No, I'm kidding.
this is just not working. This is never going to happen for me. And I mean, I've seen since I started 2 years ago, I've seen a lot of people leave because they just weren't getting anywhere. But when you look at it like 2 years on and you look back and you think, well, yeah, I've now got, Tom's made it. Hi, Tom, you made it good. um,
Hi,
yeah, now I've got a following. Now I've got subscribers. Now people believe in me. They read my stuff, but you have to go through that initial period. Um, and if you dip out at the wrong time, you're never going to know what was going to happen.
Right, and it brings up a big question that you have to ask yourself, "Why am I doing this?" Right? That's the biggest reason of all. If you're only doing it for likes and vanity, I guess is the word, I don't know, you might not get very far because you'll get frustrated and give up because it does not happen overnight for most people. So, if you consider why, like my big why would be because I want to reach a bigger audience of women so that I can help them claim their power, step into their power, own their voices, and we can start to change things for the better for women in particular. But, like, what is your big why for doing this?
My big why is I know what it's like to struggle with not having any confidence and
Mm.
particularly social anxiety and not knowing what to say to people. Like, even just going on a live for me a few years ago it would be unthinkable. It's just like
Okay.
too scary. I
Yeah.
couldn't have done it. It just having a conversation with somebody I didn't know really well was difficult for me. So my why is thinking of those women like me and men as well. I mean, men suffer it too,
Mhm.
who are not sure of themselves, who want to be braver, who want to take on challenges, who have dreams that they think, I cannot do that in a million years. I'm here to tell you you can. You can do anything you want to do. And at least you can try, even if you don't make it, you will still get you a long way. Yes, I do, Tom, think that.
I mean, it sounds like we have very similar missions, and I think one of the things that's interesting about it is that you and I, like, this is not comfortable for me to be in a setting like this, and I think it's become more comfortable for you because you're doing it more often.
Hmm.
But that's one of the reasons I think we both want to do it is to say we weren't comfortable with this, but our mission or our goal was so much bigger that we took it on to prove that we could do it, which means you can too.
Yeah. Yeah. Bob says we have difficulty asking for help during tough times. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bob, that is, I mean, I answered your note the other day with a comment. That was me. And it still is to some extent. It's very difficult for me to admit when I don't know something and to actually ask for help. I'm getting better at it, but it I don't know why, but my brain just seems to think that's really scary if I have to ask someone to help me. I guess in my mind, my brain's thinking, well, if you've got to ask somebody to help you, then they're going to think you're stupid. And that goes back to my childhood belief that I wasn't clever enough. So it's all feeding into it.
Right,
Uh,
and your safety, right? That's what it comes down to. Your brain is trying to keep you safe, so it will do whatever it can to do that, which it
yeah,
still tells you, "Don't ask for help. Somebody's gonna think you're dumb." And then what does
exactly.
that means? Then basically that means you think it means that you're gonna be alone, and so your
Yeah.
brain is doing what it can to protect you.
Exactly. It is. It's just protection at the end of the day. So Tom says, instead of asking, why is this happening to me? I have begun to ask, what now or what's next, to move from frustration to action. Do you think that's a good move? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Always, when you're getting frustrated, just a good idea is to walk away for a minute anyway. Go for a walk, get some fresh air, because while you're away, your brain will carry on working on it. So if you think to yourself, I need a solution to this, and then you walk away from it for a while, your brain has picked up the message, I need a solution to this, and it will carry on
Mhm.
working on it. And when you come back, you'll quite often find suddenly you realize the bit you were missing or what you need to do next. It comes to you.
Yeah, and that question, "Why is this happening to me?" is, the why can be it feels very judgmental, right? Like, like, when you get into that mode, your self-talk then turns really negative,
Mm,
and you can go down this rabbit hole as opposed to, like, one of the things I learned in coaching was action kills anxiety. So as soon as you go out and you say, "What's next?" and you try to figure out that really tiny step, you're in
yeah.
action mode and your anxiety just kind of floats away,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah. What's next? What do I need to do now? Or, who do I need to contact to help me? Because if you're always thinking, sorry. What? I'm on a live. So my husband's asking me to bring his shoes out. Yes.
Should bring him in.
Sorry about that, everybody. My husband interrupted. He's got
That's
the whole
life
winter
life
ledge
gets in the way.
outside the window going, and he's got muddy shoes on because he's been working in the garden, and he's going, "Can you bring me some clean shoes? Can you bring me some clean shoes?" I'm like, "I'm on a live. Yeah, can you bring me some clean shoes?" And then he went, "Oh, are you actually talking to someone?" Anyway, apologies for that interruption. Yes, men.
We we needed a good laugh.
We do. Anyway, where were we? Yes. Yeah. Um, yeah. So don't say, why is this happening to me? The worst thing you say is, why does everything go wrong? Because you're just telling your brain that everything goes wrong for you.
Mhm,
You don't want to say stuff like that to yourself. You want to say things like, okay, I can do this. How am I going to get through this? What do I need to do next? Like Tom said, who do I need to go to for help? And then you're asking your brain questions that it will actually look for an answer for you.
mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is don't think that any of this is easy because our brains we can't really control the thoughts that come in, but we control is how we respond to them, and the more practice you have responding to those kinds of thoughts, in particular the "why me" sort of thoughts, the quicker I think you can turn them off and
Mm.
go into action, right? It's like when you do a Substack live, you've done how many now? Probably hundreds. You're not as
I wouldn't say
uncomfortable
it's hundreds, but quite a few.
but you're probably not as uncomfortable as I am right now because this is more natural for you, right? But so every time you turn the live on, you're like, "Okay, I'm ready to go." Because you've done it enough times, right? So if you can shut down that thought once you hear it and recognize it, and that's the biggest one of the hardest things to do in the beginning, but after a while it becomes so much easier and then I think that anxiety just sort of quells, it just kind of fades away a little bit because you can control your reaction to the thought a lot faster.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom says you're doing great, Lisa. You are
Oh,
doing great.
sweet.
Brandon, hi
Thank
Brandon.
you.
Who do you go
Brandon.
to? You go to your wife to help you with your buddy. Yes,
Of
Brandon. Thank
course.
you.
Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Tom. You guys are so sweet. I appreciate you.
Very kind.
Brandon, I love Brandon. You always manage to make me laugh. That's for sure.
Yes, he does. Yeah. Yes. So going back to the messy middle. So where would you say you are in your journey? We can say on Substack if
On
you like,
Substack, yeah.
or in your other lines of work.
I mean, it's kind of similar, I think, especially on Substack. I'm in that phase of like, do I keep going with this or don't I keep going with this? And um, it's just it's so slow, and I keep telling myself I don't want to be doing this for the wrong reasons. So that's why I keep going. Because if the wrong reason is I just want notoriety or, whatever, that's the wrong reason. At least for me, that's the wrong reason because
Yeah.
I don't think that'll keep me coming back. So I'm sort of trying to remember my big why. And, I'm sort of like I'm an introvert. I'm an extroverted introvert. So while this is uncomfortable for me, it's also really important to me um, to amplify women's voices.
Mhm.
And I don't think you can do that. Like, I've been doing it for years. I've been having these conversations quietly with women for years. But I feel like we always play so small that other women aren't seeing this behind the scenes stuff. And so I feel like this needs to come out into bigger spaces. And I keep telling myself, if it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't go anywhere. It still makes me feel good to do what I'm doing. So while I very often get stuck in the messy middle, and every time I sit down to write something, and I love writing, it's one of my passions, I still get frustrated and overwhelmed, and I'm still seeking perfection even though I know it doesn't exist, so
Mhm.
those things are still there. I mean, I'm definitely still stuck in the middle a lot of the time. But I, sometimes can coach myself through it and say, "Okay, why are you feeling stuck? What's holding you back?"
Mhm.
And then what's one micro step that I can take right now just to move forward?
Yeah. And what would you say, where would you say the end was? So when will you think, "Okay, I've done it now?"
That is a great question, and, that I don't know, and I think maybe that's a lot of the turmoil for people is
Hmm.
when you're creating something like this, you don't necessarily have a specific outcome that you're looking for,
Mhm.
um, so, I don't know, that's a great question to consider,
I
and
think
go ahead.
yeah. Yeah, no, I think, I think it's taking steps again, isn't it? It's like, first of all, you've gotta keep thinking about why you're doing this in the first place. If you're here because you want to quickly make a didn't you have a plan? Um, if you're here because you quickly want to make a lot of money, and, you think, "I'm gonna be an overnight success," that's not gonna happen. Unless you're already famous, like, I've just started following Jamie Oliver, and I think he came
Uh,
on, and honestly, he said, "Oh yeah, well I started with only 4 subscribers, and they were my family, and now I've got 5,000." Like
uh,
5 minutes later, like
right.
it was a big deal. Of course, he's going to get loads of subscribers. So unless you're a celebrity, it is going to be difficult to get to where you want to be. So if you come on thinking, yeah, I'm just going to I'm going to be famous. I'm going to make loads of money. It won't happen. It won't happen, not initially. So you've got to have another reason. So if your reason is genuinely because you love writing, because you think, I've got something to offer, or you genuinely want to help people, then just keep, like you say, going back to that, keep bearing it in mind. And every time you think, oh my God, I've written this post and only one person's read it, and that was my mum. Just remember, well, this is what I'm doing it for. I'm doing it to help that one person who may not even comment, who may not even, put a like on it, but they're there. Once I achieve a goal, I usually make a bigger one and go for that. I was actually leading
Ah,
up to that, Brandon. Thank you.
mhm,
Um, because I think
smart.
if you put everything in little steps, like what's the first thing you want to do? So maybe the first thing you want to do is to get 100 subscribers. And then when you reach that goal, what do you want to do next? Okay, now I want 200.
Mhm.
Now I want to get to 1,000. I remember when I was trying to get to 1,000, and it's very much a mindset, because for me, as soon as I had that 1,000 in my mind, I got there really fast, and then everything slowed back down again. But just focus on 1,000. So now I have these micro goals, intentions, I'm calling them intentions, and I
Yeah.
just focus on, this is my next intention, and then when that happens, this is my next intention.
Oh, I love that.
You both genuinely want to help people, so you have an agenda and goals. Don't you feel that becomes your mindset? Yes, yes, that's basically what I just said. And then Joanne says, I think self sabotage of our speaking out loud is in women's
Oh,
DNA.
yeah.
Yes, from so many eras before our time. Keep on keeping on,
Thank
Lisa.
you, Joanne, and you are so right about that, right? I mean, women have been fed these messages for centuries, and so it's natural for us to self-sabotage. The hard part is moving forward anyway. It's not easy, and that's why you have to have a lot of self-compassion, I think, as you're doing this.
Yeah.
Because women in particular have been fed this load of crap for so long, we have I mean, I'm sure men have it in a different way, but women really have to work to overcome, to break down those messages and to deprogram themselves in order to move forward. So that's like an extra step that women have to take that I think a lot of times men don't even think about. And I mean, it's probably not 100% true because I think Tom has talked about this before, and probably Bob too. But
Mm.
women have a particular extra set of things that hold us back because we've been fed this for so long.
Yeah, this is what we've been brought up. Like, be
Yeah.
quiet. Don't say anything that might rock the boat. Don't upset people. Be a good girl. Uh, don't swear. Don't drink beer.
And I think that is why now it is such an important time for women to say screw this to those rules. It's
Yeah,
so important for us because we could go back and I don't think we will because I think the genie is out of the bottle at this point. I don't think we're going back. I hope not, but I think it's so important for women to, this is why I keep showing up because even though it's uncomfortable, I think it's so important for women to do this now so that we don't go back and keep hearing those messages and just start over and do it our way for a while.
we have. We've really got
Yeah.
to start to say what we think and what we want, and not follow rules that we don't value, we don't
Right.
feel
Well,
are
we
right
didn't
for
set them
us.
up. We had no role in setting up these, BS rules to begin with. So, yeah, it needs to
Exactly.
end.
Yes. When we're going to take over the world.
I sure
Tom,
hope so.
don't make more money or be too intelligent. Women
Yeah.
are sometimes
Oh,
advised to
yeah.
dumb themselves down to avoid intimidating men. Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Joanne
Yes.
says it takes practice and repetition to overcome the fear. Yep.
Yes.
And Tom says, I hope you do. Oh, the fear of public
Oh,
speaking.
yeah, that's the
Yes.
worst.
Yeah.
Joanne, that's public speaking is to me, it's one of the worst. Yeah, I don't know how people do it. I admire them so much.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I was thinking this morning. If you were speaking to one person that you know really well, you wouldn't have an issue with that.
Right.
And if you were speaking to maybe five people that you knew really well, you wouldn't have an issue with that either. So at what point does it start to get scary? At what point does your brain jump in and say, hang on a minute, this is too much?
Oh, that's a wonderful question, right? Because I mean, love having a one-on-one conversation like with you or with anybody really. But when I'm in a group of like even three or four people, not even a group of like 100 people, I wouldn't know what that was like. No, thank you. But in a group of three or four people, my mind still goes blank. So I don't know why. I guess maybe you feel like more eyes are on you. And so if you fail, you're going to fail more spectacularly than you would with just one on one. I don't know if that's the reason, but it seems likely that that's what's happening is if you fail or you say something dumb, there are more people there to laugh at you, point it out to you, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to work out how many people it there would have to be before I'd start to get scared. Because I've done a lot of lives and I've done podcasts and videos, but actual live public speaking, I haven't really done any. I mean, I have spoken in front of groups before, where I've had something I'm teaching, and I guess that's public speaking, but not where I've actually like stood on a stage with a microphone, like a TED Talk sort of
Mm.
scenario. I've never done anything like that. And I was just thinking, I wonder how many people, but then if you're doing that, does it matter if it's 10 people or 100 people or 1,000 people? Is it just as scary with 10 people you don't know that you think might judge you as 1,000 people? Um, I don't know. I think you have to do it. I think the thought of it is scary. The thought of
Yeah.
it is probably more scary than actually getting up
Doing
and
it.
doing it.
I don't know. Would you be willing to try that out? I mean, I'm curious. Would you ever, if somebody gave you the opportunity to do like a TED Talk or something, would you sign up to do it?
I would probably try and make myself do it. I would be very much wanting to back out even at the last minute, and I'd probably throw up 5 minutes before. But I think I would get on the stage now and I might cock it up. But because one thing I've really learned is to laugh at myself. Which is just
Joanne says propofol can help. I love that.
Yeah.
I wish they would bottle that stuff up, Joanne. That's the greatest.
Oh my God. Right. So we've got loads and loads of comments. This is obviously a good topic. Bob
Right.
says addressing a jury of 12 is scarier than an audience
Oh,
of 100. Well,
there's a lot at stake
yeah,
there.
I
Yeah.
imagine.
A
Yeah.
lot at stake, Bob. Yeah, but Brandon's right too, right? You're speaking in front of 19 people, but not seeing them makes a difference because like I'm having a one-on-one conversation with Sue because I can't see all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not quite as terrifying.
Yeah. This is it. Yeah. Yeah. And going back to Bob, I mean,
Oh, propanol, beta blocker.
The jury of 12 people, they will listen to Bob thinking that Bob is an expert. He is the authority in the room. So they will be very much in awe of him, I would imagine. I mean, if I was, I've never sat on a jury, but if I was, the person that was doing the whatever they do, the summing up or
Arguing,
whatever,
right.
and asking the questions, I would think, they really know their stuff. They're obviously highly intelligent, and I would be uh, quite overwhelmed. So in awe of them, I think. So I
Mhm.
don't like Bob might feel scary, but I would probably be more scared of Bob than he is of me.
Oh,
uh,
okay, so Joanne says it's propanol, not propofol,
pro-
it's a beta blocker. Okay, that makes sense.
okay,
Yeah.
consult your doctor first. Yeah.
Oh,
uh,
what a great idea. Maybe I'll try that if I ever get the opportunity to speak
mm.
publicly. Mm.
And Tom says they all look the same in their underwear. Oh, I don't even
Yeah.
want to start thinking about that. Thank you.
You
Joanne
come out
says,
on
I
stage laughing.
understand conservatory students. Conservatory?
Oh, yeah, like,
Conservatory.
performance, like orchestra.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. Me being thick again. Take it before a performance. My doctor suggested it for fear of
Mm.
speaking. Yeah. Conservatory. Sorry. Morel says it keeps the heart rate down.
Mhm.
Okay. Bob says when you do closing in front of a jury, you have to tell the story well. Yeah. Music conservatory. Yes, I get that, Joanna. Thank you. Brilliant. What a brilliant audience we've got. Very interactive. I love
Yeah,
it.
I
Thank
love
you.
it.
Does anybody want to tell their story of their messy middle? Feel free to type that in the comments if you want to, or you can even come on. I can invite you. Um, so going back to messy middle and what we were talking about, we've got to public speaking. Yeah, I think I would like to. I would like to, but it scares me. But at least I can say now I would like to, whereas probably 12 months ago I wouldn't
Mhm.
even consider it.
Yeah, and that's such an interesting thing because you talk about with your clients a lot of creating like an achievement or a success journal.
Mm,
So if you have something like that and you can look back and say, "But I've done all these things. I've been on Substack lives and I've done podcasts and I've done all these things," to remind yourself that you can do this thing. You could public speak. You would be nervous. That's okay. You were nervous when you did your first Substack live, right? So,
yeah,
but you can look back if you have that journal and say and be proud of yourself for all the things that you stepped into that were terrifying and you now have the experience and you didn't die. So, you
exactly,
know.
exactly. And I think this is the thing because we have to do it in small steps. So if you want to build your confidence, you really need to do it in small steps because your our brains are real drama queens. And if I suddenly said, before I'd even done a live, if I said, right, I'm going to go and speak in front of 1,000 people, my brain would just go into complete drama queen. It would say, oh my God, we're going to die. You cannot do this. Let's stop it. And it'd probably make me ill to stop me from going. But if you just do a few people, like you do a small group of people, or you do a few lives, you do podcasts, you do stuff and then work up. And so now I'm at the stage where I think, yeah, well, that would be the next stage. So that's pushing my comfort zone a little bit
Mhm.
further, because what you don't want to do is jump out your comfort zone. You want to find something that just puts your toe out and pushes the
Right.
boundary a little bit, and then do that. And then you've got that on your list. You can tick it and say, I've done this. I know I can do that now. So let's try something else.
Yeah, I mean, that really is the key, right? Is finding that thing that's right at the pinnacle of your comfort zone and then test the waters and see how it feels. And then if you hate it, you don't ever have to do it again. If it's not
Exactly.
horrible and it doesn't kill you and it's worthwhile and you feel like it's, something you really want to do, then you will survive it.
That's it. Yeah. 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 So we've got loads more comments. Tom says, my drama teacher said, if you cannot say your lines looking at yourself in a mirror,
You're
then
ready
you
for
are
the
ready for the
stage.
stage. Bob says, when you're in the messy middle, you're also very concerned about what other people will think of your actions.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. Tom says, you do have to deal with perfectionism. The
Oh
fear
yeah.
of making mistakes or not delivering a flawless performance can trigger debilitating stress and anxiety. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. And what what I've done is I don't expect myself to be perfect anymore. That I'm not intelligent thing that used to limiting belief that used to hold me back before. I just I'm really kind of light with it now. I'm not the most intelligent person in the world. I might be a bit of a dumb blonde at times, but
Well, I've never seen that, but okay.
but um, I can live with that. I can live with that because there's always going to be somebody who is more intelligent than me, but there's also going to be people that aren't as intelligent as me. I know what I know, and I know what I don't know, which doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, that's the Dunning-Kruger effect, right? That's one of my favorite things where people who think they know everything really know very little, and people who think they know very little know a lot more than they think they do.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of a curse, right? Because if you're somewhat intelligent, you know how much you don't know. So
Yeah.
that's the overwhelming part. So then you think of yourself as not smart enough because there's this vast amount of information that we will never know, but we realize that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think once you start accepting that, then it does make things a little bit more easy. A little bit
Mhm.
easier. See,
Get out of
I
your own
can't even
head.
talk properly at this time of night. A little bit more easy. You don't know what you don't know. Without sufficient knowledge, people lack the reference points to tell the difference
Mhm.
between a strong and weak performance.
True.
Yes. Yeah, true. Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, that's got to be on my bucket list then to do. I'm not sure about TED Talk, but maybe talk in front of a class full of children might, especially if they're only about 6. that might
That's a
work to
good
start
start.
with.
You still gotta start somewhere, right?
Exactly. Although if they're anything like, well, my grandson's not 6 anymore, he's nearly 12, but if they're anything like him, he says it all the time. He says, "Do you not even know that? Don't you even know that?" He really makes me feel intelligent.
Oh, no. That can't help.
Oh, he's lovely though. He's lovely. He's too intelligent himself, that's the problem.
Oh.
Anyway, have we
Um,
got anything else to talk about?
I do. I mean, I wanna say, first and foremost, that, if you're in the messy middle, give yourself a pat on the back, a round of applause, a real hug or an imaginary hug to congratulate yourself for being there, because it means that you're out there, you're trying something, you're not contemplating doing anything, you're actually challenging yourself to try it, right? So,
Mm,
you've embraced a growth mindset, and that's a huge deal. Um, when you're stuck in the messy middle, it basically means by default that you're trying something new. So, be sure to congratulate yourself first and foremost, right? It's a
definitely.
big deal.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree. And I also think that, if you are struggling with anything, then do ask for help. And like Bob said, we don't ask for help enough. And I was guilty of that. I still don't ask enough as much as I should do, but I do ask eventually. Um, so yeah, definitely ask for help. And I think, if you're on Substack and you're stuck and you're thinking, "Oh, I'm not getting anywhere," there are so many different communities in Substack. If you're a subscriber of anybody, they've usually got a chat, and some of them are really good.
Mm,
Just, tell people that you're struggling. Ask them to look at your last post, not to like or comment on it particularly, but just to give you feedback. But obviously, take the feedback with
a
the
grain of
grace it was
salt,
given.
yes.
Don't get
Right.
upset.
Right, but I think people want to help, right? Like, I think you're flattered if somebody comes to you because that means they
Yeah,
trust what you have to say, and so people want to be that person for you.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
it's scary to ask, but I think that it's flattering for the person to be asked.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah, and like you say, everybody wants to help. Nobody's gonna not help if you ask nicely and you're a nice person.
Right.
Yeah. So, how have you found your first live then, Lisa?
Fun. Because, I mean, Sue, you put everybody at ease. It's just
Oh,
you make people feel so comfortable that it's just easy to sit here and have a conversation, and I have to say, with all of you guys in the chat, this has just been incredible. I
they've
really,
been brilliant, haven't
yeah,
they? A
thank you
wonderful
guys for
audience.
participating so much. It makes me feel at home.
So when I do my TED talk or whatever I'm going to do, I need you all to come and buy tickets and be my audience
I'll come over to England for that.
because you're all amazing. Yeah.
Yes,
So
Sue's the
Tom says
best.
the messy middle is the most painful or hardest part of any journey because it forces you to face the reality of hard work. It is a necessary, non-negotiable stage of transformation requiring resilience rather than just enthusiasm. Yes, you do
Yep.
need to be resilient. Um, and Morel says that is a very good point to not be afraid of asking for help. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Sue is great. Oh, thank you. Very kind. And oh, Lynn's just joined. Hi, Lynn. I hope you're okay. And Tom's come in. Tom's going to be in my audience. That's great.
Well, so
Okay.
I'm curious, Sue. As a confidence coach, what do you see in particular? How does confidence play into the messy middle for people?
Good question. Yeah, very good question. I think the more confident you are, not so much confident, but the more you trust yourself, the more you trust yourself to be able to get through it. So knowing where you are, that you're in the messy middle, recognizing that, okay, I'm not as excited about this as I started out because it's not going as well as I thought it would. Um, but I'm here in the middle and I'm looking to the light in the future and I know I'm gonna get there. So if you trust yourself that you can get through it, you will feel a lot more stronger and a lot more resilient than if you have low self-esteem. So you go into it thinking that you're gonna fail anyway. And then as soon as you hit an obstacle, you just back out and you can't go through it. So yeah, confidence is whatever you do, confidence is always going to be important, which is why building your confidence to a healthy level is always a good idea.
Mm.
One more
Erin,
yeah.
Erin is here. Erin's just such a lovely woman. I love you, Erin.
Aw.
She's just sweetheart. I'm so flattered that you came. Thank you. Um, how do you?
Yeah, so Tom says he's interested in what we wrote a while ago about the difference between confidence and self-confidence.
Mm,
And I was talking about that the other day on my podcast on the Positive Echo as well with Gary and Carl. That confidence is the your ability to be able to do something. So I'm confident now at speaking live. I'm confident in my writing. But self confidence is how you feel about yourself inside. So I might be able to write an amazing post, but inside I might be thinking to myself, oh my God, nobody's going to read it. It's not very good at all. So that's my self confidence, my self worth. Whereas confidence is having the ability. Oh, Philip. Hello, Philip.
but if you don't have a lot of self confidence or self esteem overall, how do you translate that into being confident outside of yourself?
Well, if say you're good at your job, so you're really good at your job, you are confident in doing that job because you're competent. Yeah.
Mm.
You might be very good at making a cake, so you're a competent, confident cook. But if you had to go and talk to somebody about how to make a cake, you'd fall apart because you don't have that ability. You've got social
Uh-huh.
anxiety.
I
So that's the
gotcha.
difference. One is how you look from the outside, your external, and the other is how you feel on the inside. Tom says you can have high confidence in your ability to drive, yet still lack the self confidence to believe in your worth to make life decisions.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
very
So there's
situational.
competence. Yeah. So competence, being able to do something. Um, but the self confidence is believing in yourself to be able to, if you can't do something, to learn how to do it, that you will
Ah.
be able to do it
So
eventually.
you're right, like a growth mindset, right? I
Yeah.
think it's so hard sometimes to have a growth mindset, and you don't have to have it everywhere. Like if you don't want to learn how to cook, you don't need to worry about having a growth mindset about cooking. But in general, if you incorporate a growth mindset into your life more often than not, I think that allows you to move forward and try things because you can't fail. You can learn, but
Yeah.
you will grow if you try.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And just keep going. If you're in the messy middle, so basically what we've said is if you're in the messy middle, keep going. Do not back out. The only reason you should back out is if you've really, really tried and you're thinking, actually, I don't even like this anymore. I don't think it's right for me. I think I should be doing something else. And the why I was doing it, it doesn't really apply anymore. It's not a thing. Then maybe you should think about changing because there's no point in flogging a dead horse, but you've got to really, really focus on why you did it in the first place. And does that still apply? If it still applies, keep going. Don't give up.
And
Um,
I think you can pivot too, right? Like, I mean, the whole point of trying things is to collect information, and to say, "This isn't working. It's not what I thought it was. Let's pivot, or let's just drop it altogether."
yeah,
But thinking of it as collecting information instead of "I have to get this right" or "I have to get this perfect." You're just collecting information, and you're saying, "I like this part. I'm going to try it this way now. I don't like this at all. It doesn't. It goes against my why. I'm out." But
yeah,
if you're trying it, you're going to collect that information and then you can decide to let go of it. It's not the end of the world, you know? Give yourself like I said, give yourself a pat on the back and kudos for even trying.
yeah, definitely. Definitely. Okay, right. Well, anything else you want to say or anything else anybody else wants to say?
I don't know, you guys have been so active.
I
Let's hear.
know.
Do you have questions? Do you have
Wait,
stories?
wait. What what type of clients do you have the most success with? Who are you
Tom,
asking, Tom?
Tom's having a hard time with the keyboard.
Who? Oh, that's a difficult question.
It
It
is.
depends. Really,
Yeah.
both of you. It depends. It depends. In a nutshell, the clients you have most success with are the ones that are there to learn, the ones that want to put the hard work in. Because if you turn up expecting miracles, then that's not going to happen without you doing something to get there. So, um, if you go to a coach, then they are only there to guide you, to show you what you already have inside you anyway. You already know what you need to do. You just haven't figured it out in full yet. And the coach is there just to guide you to ask the right questions so that you answer your own questions. So to answer your question, Tom, for me, and Lisa can speak for herself in a second, but for me, the people I help the most, clients I help the most, are the ones that are willing to think about what we're talking about, to self-reflect, to do the work they need to do to make the changes they want to make. Because if you want to make those changes, then you need to go through the process. There's no easy route.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
mean,
think?
I agree with all of that, and I think clients who come to me a little more open-minded, but the coach's job is really to create that space, is to create a welcome environment, space, whatever it is, so that the client feels comfortable coming to me eventually or pretty quickly and realizes that they can be completely authentic and I will not judge and we can go from there.
Mm.
Like Sue said, we are the guide. We don't, as the coach, it's not our job to tell you what to do. It's our job to point out your strengths and help you figure out what micro actions you want to take towards goals that feel fulfilling to you.
Yeah.
Um, but it is our job to create that space
Yeah.
that you feel comfortable doing the work in.
It has to be a safe space. It has to be a safe space. Um, I was going to say something else, and it's just gone out of my head.
I hate that.
Everything
Hey,
happens to me all the
I blame it on
time.
menopause. I blame everything on menopause.
So Tom says, then how do you measure progress in your clients? A client
Mm.
can tell you anything, especially things you want to hear. I don't want to hear anything, Tom. I really do not want to hear anything. I want the client to figure things out for themselves. If a client says that they're making progress and it's quite obvious they're not, then I would probably say, are you sure about that? Are you sure? I mean, I worked with a young lady and I was quite a new coach. I'd only just, think I had qualified. I'd only just qualified. And she, I thought she's just not getting anywhere. I couldn't feel any change whatsoever. She just seemed exactly the same to me. And I kept saying to her, do you feel that you're making progress? How's this going for you? It's great. I'm really making progress. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm learning so much, and I just wasn't convinced. But when we got to the end of her sessions and she went off and she was really happy, and I thought, okay, then but I didn't feel very proud of myself. But then I heard a little while later that she had, and she had social anxiety. She found it very difficult to speak to people. She'd moved to the city. She was sharing a flat with another girl that she'd met, and she always said she would have to live alone if she lived anywhere away from her mum. She was a girl that didn't really want to grow up. She was very, very scared of adulthood. And, she was 18 at the time I was talking to her. But she'd gone to London. She'd got a good job. She'd sharing a flat with another girl that she'd only just met. And she was so changed. She was still a introvert. She was still shy, but she was so confident in herself. And I thought, did that really come from me? Did she go up the road and go to somebody else? But no, apparently it was just a slow burner. So you don't know.
You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Yeah, you don't.
No,
Yeah, and the thing is too, it's not the coach's job to do the work for the client. So
exactly.
if they're not doing the work, the coach at some point has to say, "I'm doing my part," and you have to do yours, or this isn't going to work.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? You're not letting me go. Good point, Lisa. Brilliant. Was that a yes, Joanne, that there is something else you want to say? Or was that just a yes, you agree? My therapist saved my life.
Mm.
Oh, bless you, Julie.
Yes, they
Yeah,
are lifesavers.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, the client needs to do their work too. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. If you're a client and you don't do your work, then you can't expect the results that you want, really. Um, how to get more confident in writing posts? Uh,
That's a great question. Is it Marielle? I love that name. That is a great question. I mean, that's where, we keep talking about that messy middle, right? Like, first of all, congratulate yourself for even trying, even putting pen to paper or fingernails to clipboard or whatever it is.
yeah.
Like, congratulate yourself for that first because it's really hard to even get started. Um, but confidence, I don't know. Confidence, like Sue will tell you, just comes from doing. So I always find, and I hate saying this to a confidence coach, but to me, confidence is sort of irrelevant in some ways because it's more about courage. Um, Mireille, sorry. pretty.
Mireille. Yeah.
Mireille. It's more about the courage to write the post and then the courage to put it out there, because the more courage you use, the further along you get, and that's when you start to build the confidence.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You got to have the courage just to press that button and know that, whatever you've written, it doesn't matter. It's your words. It's what you thought you wanted to write. So write it. It's your that space is yours to write, and you can write what you like. If you're not being nasty or offending anybody, then what does it matter? Just write it.
Right, it
You've
always
been
comes
writing,
back
but it
to your
scares.
Yes, it does. It absolutely. I'm terrified every time I write anything, you're still looking for it to be perfect, right? Or um something I do try to ask myself a lot though is why am I writing this? Like every time I write anything, who am I speaking to? What
Mm,
do I need to say? What do I need to work through? And that's a big one, right? Because a lot of times I think as writers, we're working through things ourselves. That's why we're writing. And so when you start to ask yourself, what do I need to work through and take everybody else out of the equation or write to one other person or something like that, I think it makes it a little easier. And then you combine that with why am I doing this in the first place?
yeah.
And you can sort of start to let go of the expectation of the outcome of the writing. It's not easy to do, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, Murray, I'll read your posts. I will.
Yes, I will too.
Yeah, I'll have a
Yes,
look.
and I will repost them.
Yes, we will. Yeah. Okay. So last comment now, because I'm gonna need to
So
go.
it's past Sue's
For me,
bedtime.
yeah. For me, I had to shift focus on
Exactly,
substance
Joanne.
over perfection. I had to prioritize sharing meaningful content over perfect
Mhm.
grammar or pretty sentences initially. I write for myself. I do not worry about the audience. That's a really, really good attitude. And Joanne, you never know who you may touch. Great point. And realize sometimes people read and don't comment or like. In fact, I mean, particularly when you're writing about things like confidence, it's the people that need it the most that don't have the confidence to say anything.
Mm,
Um, but they're
so
still
true.
receiving what you're sharing. If you are sharing from your heart and soul, it will reach the right person. And this is the thing. I mean, if you think of that one person that you are trying to help and write for that one person that you know that needs your help, then your words will reach the right people. And there'll be more than one, but just think of that one person and write for that one person.
And I too, because I struggle with this, the craft of writing, right? You want it to sound because I'm so interested in words and sentences and things that I read. They're so powerful to me. And so I hold myself to this really high standard in terms of the craft. But you can't get better at the craft unless you're out there trying things out
Yeah.
and seeing what happens. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And I tend to write for myself as a young person. When I was that shy young
Mm.
girl with no confidence, what did I need? And
Yes.
these are the sorts of things that I wish somebody had written for me.
Exactly. That's a beautiful way to look at it. Yeah, like, if I could go back and talk to my old self, what would I say to her? Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes along with when you're usually when you're starting to write a piece, something has lit a fire in you to write that particular piece at that particular time. So it's kind of like you're working through it. And I think that sometimes can make it a little easier to to come to the page with. Like you're writing for yourself or you're writing for your 6-year-old self.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. Okay. Well, this has been really good. Enjoyed this so much. It's
Me
been
too.
great.
Thank you for taking this Substack Live Virgin live. I appreciate it.
No, it's been great. And thank you, everybody that's here.
Yes, thank you
You've been
all so
amazing.
much for being
Amazing.
here. It's just lovely to meet everyone.
Yeah.
You guys made this so fun.
Okay. That's it. Okay. We will see you soon. Take care then.
Bye. Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.